everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle, a little Carnival of Chaos prep. Number 213, it's me, Lord Tremendous of the Undead Legion versus Death, Holy Death. And he's back to playing his Dark Elves. Yeah, he's sick and tired of the whole Undead Legion thing, so he sold his army and he's back to his Dark Elves, which I'm not surprised. That's pretty much how Death, Holy Death rolls, short attention span. But it's nice that he's back to his Dark Elves because, we're getting back to our roots. And I appreciate that. And it should make for some really good games, which they, usually always are. But this is always a really good game, so sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this one goes.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and it's more the same because I've already submitted the list. So, yeah, get used to seeing it. I've got my Vampire Lord, Lord Tremendous. He's level 4 Wizard, Heavy Armor Shield, Abyssal Terror, Sword of Might, Dragon Helm, Talisman of Preservation, Other Trickster Shard, Quick Blood, Red Fury, and the Lore of Empire. My hero choices are a Lich Priest, Queen Elizabeth, level 2 Wizard, Dispel Scroll, Laura Light, my White King, Dark Vincent, who's on a skeletal steed with a shield, Sword of Strife, Charm Shield, and I'm sorry, he's got the Charm Shield. He has no regular shield. I apologize, he's not carrying 2 shields because he can't dual wield shields. I'm an idiot. And Dragonbane Gem. Last but not least is my Necromancer, Sinister Jeffrey, who's a level 1 wizard with the Iron Curse icon and the Lore of Vampires. He's my res wizard. Good for him. My core choices are my 5 Skeleton Horsemen Archers with a banner, 48 Zombies with Banner Musician, 6 Chariots, Rolling Bones, with full command Banner of Eternal Flame. I did take the Banner Swiftness off of them and put it on the Black Knights. These guys now had the Eternal Flame, just because, they have arrows. Sometimes that might help. And then I have my 13 Skeleton Archers, the Queen's Guard, with full command. My special choices are 9 Black Knights with Lances and Barding, Banner Musician, and the Banner of Swiftness, 9 Medusa Stalkers, those that gaze, 3 Morghast Harbingers, the Avatars of Sorrow, and thank you to everybody that helped, name these guys. That was awesome. I appreciate all the submissions and everything like that. And in the end, I took a bunch of the good ideas and I turned them into the Avatars of Sorrow. And it just seems to suit the unit. Again, thanks you everybody for the submissions. They were awesome. Next up will be the Black Knights. So if you can think of a cool name for the Black Knights, I'm all ears. Last but not least, of course, is my rare choices, my Casket of Souls. Death Holy Death's list I didn't get. It was on his phone. I could have had him emailed it to me. I didn't because I forgot. So yeah, I don't have his list, but you're gonna see his army. You can piece it together. You're all very smart people. And for the stupid ones, ask questions in the comment section. Somebody will lie to you. It's just the way the internet works. Here are my spells, which are exactly what you're looking at. And here are death spells, which are also exactly what you're looking at. And here's deployment. For the most part, I hadn't seen the sisters. He's got sisters in the middle there around the cauldron. And I do remember that the sisters are really good in combat, just not how good. And I knew I had to deal with them eventually, so I kind of put everything around in the center. The witches, I really wanted my Black Knights to hit the witches because with their 2-up armor save, I was feeling really confident about that one. As you can see, I have the Demon Prince on the table. That is acting as a proxy for my Vampire Lord because at the time we were playing this game, my Vampire Lord on the Abyssal Terror model was being painted by my wife. So it was either don't go and play or use a proxy. So I thought everybody would like to see the old Demon Prince back on the table. It was nice. Really, though, for the most part, I didn't care too much about his Warlocks. I was going to deal with them as convenient as I possibly could. Archers and casting would be nice. The Morghasts, their job were either the crossbowmen or any target of opportunity that might pop up. Unfortunately, as you can see on the left flank, he had shades, and I was unaware of that. He was able to get them right over by the casket, so my Black Knights were going to turn to face them as quickly as humanly possible and try to save my casket. Other than that, though, my scouts are over there just kind of looking to harass on his right flank, and yeah, that's really about it. Just do as much damage as I can and try to get the opportune combats. Here's his right flank, which consists of my scouts, a unit of Brolocks, and his Witch Elves. And here's his center, which consists of his level 4 Supreme Sorceress, Lily, I think. His Sisters of Slaughter, his Death Hag on a Cauldron, which is also his BSB. Of course, Lydia is in there as well. The Dreadlord with all the. She's a psycho, just incredible amounts of danger. Behind them is Psycho Elf, just a crazy elf on the Pegasus. Basically, he hits anything, he does multiple wounds at like strength 5 million, no armor saves, and just because I think they threw in the rule where you have to give your opponent $5 if he kills one of your models. It's just ridiculous. And then there's a huge unit of the crossbow guys, the Dark Shards or whatever. And here's his left flank, which consists of his Dark Riders and another unit of Brolocks. Here's my right flank, which consists of my zombies with my level 1 wizard in there, Necromancer, my Morghasts, and of course my archers with my level 2. And here's my center, which consists of chariots, my proxied Vampire Lord, my Black Knights with my White King, and my, what's it called? Casket, sorry, had a brain fart. And here's my left flank, which consists of his Shades, which sucks. Here's top 1 after movement, and thank God I got to go first. As you can see, there was no charges. Well, that's a lie, actually. The Morghasts did charge his Dark Riders because they were like 19 away, and I figured why not. They decided to flee, and they got away, which is a good thing, too, because my Morghasts rolled boxcars, so they almost caught them had they not ran as far as they did. I do believe one of the Dark Riders takes a dangerous terrain for fleeing through the forest and dies, so that's cool. But other than that, they get away, and my Morghasts end up where they are, which kind of tar pits my zombies and my archers, which is fine. They really weren't going anywhere. My chariots move up to get into range of shooting at the sisters. My Vampire Lord kind of moves to support them. And my Black Knights do a swift reform, accomplish it, and move to block the Shades. And that's how it ended up. There's a better picture of my Morghast failing a charge against the Dark Riders. And, you know, no shame there. The Dark Riders fled, got away, one died for the problem. It was a long-distance charge. It's nice to get them kind of out of position. Nothing happens in a magic phase, so we go into shooting, and my scouts are able to take out one of the Brolocks, which, you know what, I wouldn't have suspected that I would have actually liked that unit, but the scout unit is really growing on me. Yeah, I'm enjoying them very much. Nothing else happens in my turn, so we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement, and there's a decent amount, I guess. The Brolocks and everything like that move and shoot down the sides there, because that's what they do. The Shades, not wanting to play with the Black Knights, run around the side there to take some pot shots at my General, which is fine. His Sisters and his Witches move forward, which isn't a shock. His Dark Riders fail to rally and continue to flee, as you can see. And if I'm not mistaken, another one dies due to dangerous terrain, because they were still touching the forest. Honesty on Death Holy Death's part, I respect that. I did not see it. I was wondering what he was doing. He was like, yeah, we were still touching the forest. I was like, I'll be dipped. So that was cool of him. Gotta respect the integrity. Other than that, nothing else happened in his moving phase. There's a better picture of his Dark Riders still fleeing, and that's fine with me. During his magic phase, he gets Power of Darkness off, and of course, +1 strength. I don't fully understand why that spell gives the unit +1 strength, but whatever. Dark Elves, spit. During his magic phase, his level 4 gets the big Doom Bolt off on my Morghast Harbingers, doing like an insane amount of wounds. I think he did 4, 8, 9, 10 wounds to him or something like that. 9 or 10 wounds to my Morghast. It was unbelievable the amount of damage he did. Of course, as you can see, I've got one left with 2 wounds on him, so that's just painful. But like I said, it was a irresistible force, and Karma, wouldn't you know it, hits him with a miscast 4. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get when you mess with the Avatars of Sorrow like that. What ends up happening is quite extraordinary, actually. Bottom of one, his level 4 caster goes to talk to Tzeentch into Warp for a while, taking like 8 of the sisters with him. The Death Hag actually was fine. The Cauldron was able to make its ward save. But Psycho Elf took a wound as well from it, which was out flippin' standing. So, yeah, I pretty much lost my Morghast, but he lost a level 4 wizard, a big chunk of his sisters, and Psycho Elf took a wound. So, all in all, I feel it was an even trade. Then during the shooting phase, his shades, even though they're running and double tapping and all that other stuff, I think they need twos to hit. But I'm still toughness 5 across the board there, and in the end, my terror ended up taking a wound, and that was it. So I'm okay with that. With nothing else to report, we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and I got a little froggy. My Black Knights moved to pin the shades in right there. My Vampire Lord backs up so that no matter where the shades go, something should be able to charge them. My Chariots back up a little bit because I don't want to fight the Sisters of Slaughter until they are way lower in numbers. The zombies stay where they are. The archers, my archer unit moves up slightly just to shoot at the sisters. Same thing. And my Morghast Harbinger, not the smartest move I know, but I decided instead of trying to get them, invocationed up, I was just going to charge the warlocks. I was like, what are the odds they're actually going to do something to me? And so I charge, and I actually made it. So that was awesome. So he slams into the warlocks, and if nothing else, it'll pin him there for a turn or two, and that's something. So it wasn't the most ideal thing in the world, but at least I got a hold of the warlocks. I'm hoping, and that's something. Other than that, my snakes didn't come in because they forgot their map, and everything else is exactly how I see it. There's a better picture of my Morghast slamming into his Burlocks, and I'm very happy about that. During the shooting phase, because nothing happens in Magic, I can't get it off, and he's using his scrolls and stuff like that, and I'm not having a great Magic phase. I mean, nothing really higher than a 3 or a 4, so it's a little frustrating, and I'm rolling low and stuff like that. So Magic hasn't really been my friend yet, unfortunately. But during the shooting phase, the combined shots from the chariots and my archer unit is able to put significant damage onto the sisters, leaving him with about 9 and Lilith, which means that unit is still a face melter, but it's not a full soul melt, and that's kind of a good thing. Then over here, my poor Morghast. He's probably all melted and retarded looking from the Doom Bolt of Doom. Yeah, a little redundant, I know. That hit him. I flub with every single attack. I roll 4 dice. I roll like 3 2s and a 1. It was splendid. The Warlocks, I believe, were able to do 1 wound to him. I charged to his wound, and I think that's it. I'm not sure if he had a musician or a banner. Something along the lines happened where I think he ended up winning by 1, but it doesn't matter because I'm a Harbinger, and we stick there. So, if nothing else, he's going to give his life being a speed bump. It would be nice if he took a few of the Warlocks with him, though. With nothing else of interest to report, we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and his Psycho Elf tries to charge my chariots and fails, which is whew, lucky as hell there. His Warlocks, I believe, his other unit of Warlocks runs up in front of the Sisters to kind of stop my chariots from charging into the Sisters, which I can respect. His Shades move up slightly so they can take some pot shots at my chariots because if my chariots do charge something, he doesn't want them to be strength 5 impact hits, which I can understand. So he kind of sacrifices his Shades because he knows my Vampire Lord can see them now and he's going to, charge them. So I guess it's an idea. Even Death Holy Death can make mistakes, I suppose. His witches come up. His what's it called? His crossbow unit moves up, and that's really about it. There's a better picture of his Psycho Elf failing a charge into my chariots, and that was lucky as hell. During the shooting phase, I'm a little shocked. Instead of shooting at my chariots, he shoots at my Vampire Lord, trying to take out my Terror, I guess. And in the end, he's able to do 1 more wound to the Terror, so I guess he's half dead. It's a start. Nothing else happens, and so we go into combat, and of course my Morghast dies. It's just I flub all my attack. Well, actually I don't get any attacks because he's able to kill me before I do anything. It's unfortunate, but the Morghast just got a real bum, real poop end of the stick during this game. So what can you do? Not their fault, but they did hold up. Well, he held up the Warlocks for a turn, which is something, I guess. But yeah, a massacring Doombolt will screw up any unit. So at least they tried. He tried. With nothing else to report, we go over here to top of 3 after movement. And this was actually a very complex movement phase. My chariots charged the warlocks that were hiding in front of the sisters with the idea of they hit the warlocks, they beat them in combat, they overrun, they hit the dark riders the dark shards, and can continue the flow of devastation that way. And even if the sisters do charge in, impact hits are going to happen in the same way each way. So yeah. Even though I'm probably going to lose the chariots, I'll do a significant amount of harm to his dark shards, and that would be awesome. But they fled. And so I redirected into Psycho Elf. And the hope there was hit Psycho Elf, kill him, bounce through him, and then, take dangerous terrain checks for going through the terrain there. It's not impassable. It's just, like ruins. So take some dangerous terrain checks. I know that I'm probably going to lose some chariots to that because we all know how I like to take dangerous terrain checks. But it was my only chance to get a hold of Psycho Elf. If he hits anything else, he's just going to be... It was my opportunity. So hit him, overrun. As long as I went 8 inches or so, I was going to be good. And even if not, and the sisters end up slamming into him or whatever, then so be it. They got Psycho Elf, and that's something. My general, of course, charged the Dark Shards without hesitation and made it no problem. And my Black Knights charged the Witch Elves. They needed like an 11 to hit them, and I didn't make it. I rolled a 9. It was really close, but that was where I was going for with that. Other than that, my zombies turned to face the Warlocks just to, bring it on. We're not afraid of you type of deal. And the archers stay right where they're at because they're just going to keep on trying to take out as many sisters as they possibly can. Meanwhile, my scouts also just decide to keep pew-pewing at the witches because it's fun, and once again, the snakes don't know how to read a map, so they're not on the friggin' table. There's a better picture of his, I believe those are warlocks fleeing away, and I don't know why one is dead. I'm not sure where it occurred. I don't remember, so one's dead. That's fine. As long as the elf is dead, that's all I really care about. There's a better picture of my chariot slamming into his Psycho Elf, and I did take the dangerous terrain checks, and all 3 passed, so that was kind of nice. And there's a better picture of my proxied Vampire Lord slamming into the shards, and this is going to be fun. I hate those things. I hate all elves, but these guys in particular have been a real thorn in my side, pun intended, so I'm glad I get to massacre them now. And there's been a picture of my Black Knights failing a charge into witches. It was a long charge. They almost made it. I don't fault them in the slightest. During the magic phase, I'm able to get Invocation off on the zombies. I was trying to pull the spell dice. Didn't work. Zombies got bigger. Yay. And during the shooting phase, the archers just fire away at the sisters, and I'm able to kill 1 or 2 more, which is great. He's down to 4, 5, 6, 7 sisters and Lydia. So, and of course, Death Hag and the Psycho Cauldron. But that thing's always going to be a pain. Corsairs could be in it, and it's always going to be a pain in the butt. So, I'm glad that I'm able to whittle down the unit as much as I have. And my scouts over here take some pot shots at the Witch Elves and plank one of them off, which is very nice. With nothing else to report, we go over here into combat, and my general is able to pulp most of this unit. In the end, there's like 2 left, and instead of pursuing and blocking the Black Knight's countercharge, I decided to let them go. They were below 25%, they weren't rallying, and I was able to restrain, turn to face the Witch Elves because I know they're coming. And yeah, the Dark Shards, or the Shades, I'm sorry, they do get away. Couldn't care less. They're going to flee off the table or, get ran down by Black Knights when they charge them and then try to redirect it into witches or whatever. So whatever, I'm happy about that. And then over here, this was good bad. My chariots were able to impact hit the Psycho Elf into oblivion, which is really nice. but I did not overrun far at all. I think it was like 4 inches. It was like half of what I hoped for. So they end up in just awful, terrible, disgusting position for the sisters to vent some frustration. And you know what? They earned it. What can you do? So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So they're going to be there. The sisters are going to eat them alive, and that's the chariots for you, though. I've never really had a ton of luck with chariots, like ever. They're always kind of lackluster, and these guys are just kind of more of the same. It's unfortunate, but they're starting to get on my shit list, and that's not a good list to be on. So, with all my belly aching over, we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement. And, of course, the witches go into my general, which was expected. The dark shards, or I'm sorry, the shades do not rally, and they continue to flee. But at least now they're out of the way of the Black Knights. His sister slam into the chariots, which we all knew was going to happen. And I think his crossbow guys just move up slightly. His warlocks rally no problem. And the other unit of warlocks just jockey for position over on the right side there. There's a better picture of his sisters getting ready to just rip my chariots apart. And there's a better picture of the Witch Elves getting ready to put the final wound through on my Abyssal Terror. During the shooting phase, his crossbow guys take a bunch of shots at my archers and obliterate the whole back rank for 7 models. And that's when I made the decision that Queen Elizabeth is getting the hell out of that unit and into the zombies. Because, yeah, she's going to die. With nothing else to report, we go into combat, and yeah, the chariots die without doing 1 wound to the sisters. In fact, after they got done doing all their attacks, I had 1 chariot with 2 wounds left, or with 2 wounds on it, and it attacked back with just the riders, and I wasn't even able to hit, and they just exploded. So, not a surprise at all. They overran just because they had to, and they ended up right where they're at. So, what can you do? It was really bad. And then over here, of course, they were able to kill the Terror. I was able to kill a decent amount of Witch Elves. I win this combat. They lose Frenzy, but they stick it out, and because obviously they're steadfast, and with the BSB right there, she's not going anywhere. And, the General, so they're not going anywhere. But, they lose. They're able to make their check no problem, and they reform to face the charging Black Knights. So, what can you do? With all that said and done, we go over here to top of 4 after movement, and without really thinking it through, I go ahead with my Black Knights and charge them into the Witch Elves, thinking that my general is due to flub, I need to save him, why not? And plus, I like to kill elves, so I did. Other than that, nothing else really happens. My snakes still aren't on the mother effing table, so I'm really not happy with them. My archers do a swift reform to take some pot shots at the warlocks and before they can just devastate whatever it is they're going to try to devastate. But I failed to do whatever it's called, the swift reform, and I believe at this point Queen Elizabeth jumps into the unit of zombies because she chooses life. Other than that, there's really nothing to report. There's a better picture of my Black Knights joining the fight, and that should be fun. During the magic phase, I get banishment off on the Dark Shards just because, and I'm able to kill like 4 of them, so that was kind of fun. And then just because I'm desperate, I get Curseirs off on the Sisters, and I'm able to do exactly 1 wound to them, so I'll take what I can get. During the combat phase, the witches are able to slip 4 wounds through on my Black Knights. They did a lot of wounds, so I'm not exactly upset about it. But meanwhile, I'm able to kill pretty much all but the front rank of witches. They're no longer steadfast. They break, and they get away. My general gets away scot-free. The Black Knights slam into the sisters, and I am not happy about that. But I was hoping to catch the sisters. I did not want them to get away, but they did. Or the witches, I'm sorry. And they did. They got away, and that's not good. So, awesome, awesome, awesome. He ended up rolling a 10, and I rolled, I think it was a 8 and a 9 or something. It was almost, but not quite good enough. Figures. But yeah, that's the way it goes. So, with really just, I think I've lost my Black Knights now. We go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and it's all I can do. His Witch Elves rally no problem. His Warlocks slip past my zombie blockade no problem and make their way towards my casket, which sucks. And other than that, they're just everything just kind of swarms around the fight because they all want to watch the Black Knights die. During the shooting phase, his archers are able to finish off my archers, and that's perfectly fine. As you can see, Lady Elizabeth is safely in the zombies. And over here, although the Black Knights do kill a handful of the sisters, my White King ends up in a challenge with Lydia. She wasn't able to kill him. I think she did like 1 wound to him, which was outstanding. I hit 5 times and failed to killing blow with all 5. I think I wounded a few times, 4 times, but with her crazy armor ward save, I didn't touch her at all. She was perfectly fine. However, the rest of the unit just it wasn't able to keep up, and with combat res and everything, because it's Sisters of Slaughter, they're just silly broke. And yeah, that's what they did. They ate my lunch. So while I was able to kill a decent amount of sisters, it wasn't enough, and I lost, and everything's dead. So that's a shame. But yeah, sisters are way too friggin' good. They're just unbelievably difficult to deal with, and I dealt with them poorly. So what can you do? But yeah, they turned to face because he thought I was going to actually charge the Witch Elves with my general, and that would have been silly. So with that being said, we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and my general backs up a little bit because I do not want anything to do with the sisters because they scare the stuffings out of me. And yeah, my zombies just kind of turn around so that they have a better shot for my caster's magic missile, which I believe is banishment and Shem's burning gaze. Maybe I can't remember exactly what spells I had. Just the idea was try to take out the witch elves and stuff like that while I still could. Once again, my snakes decide not to come on the table because FML, and my scouts move around to just take pot shots at whatever they could because I'm desperate. During the magic phase, the casket, trying to save its own life, gets the spell off on the warlocks and actually does 5 wounds to him. And he only ward saves 1. So yeah, 4 die. They make their break check though. So I'm like, wow, cool. With only 1 warlock left, my casket's probably going to be okay now. Excellent. Nothing else happens worth noting other than the fact that during the magic phase, and for some reason I forgot to take a picture, banishment on the witch elves finished off the witch elves, which is just outstanding. I was very happy about that. So yeah, one less thing to worry about. As you can see, during bottom of 5 here, his warlock slams into my casket, and that was a little bit of a surprise, I won't lie. The other warlocks run around to try to doom bolt my general off the table. The sisters and the what's it called? Cauldron turn to face him as well. Like I'm going to actually make that charge. That's crazy. And that's really about it. We have beat the crap out of each other this game. There's a better picture of his warlock slamming into my casket, and I really wasn't worried about that. Nothing happens in magic or shooting, so we go into combat, and oh my frickin' god, his warlock hits and wounds with both of his attacks, and then the fucking horse hits and wounds with its attack, killing all 3. Could not believe it. Couldn't believe it. Even the horse is tougher than my friggin' guys. So yeah, my goddamn casket explodes, but it explodes inward. It's an implosion, and it doesn't even bother the fucking warlock. Oh, did that make me sick? So yeah, we go over here to top of 6, and the only thing I can think now is I'm working on a draw right now. I have to run away. So I do. My general runs behind the wall there thinking he's going to be safe. I know the warlocks can't charge me. I know the sisters can't charge me. I know the shards can't shoot at me because I'm just thinking I need to preserve the 724 points my vampire lord is. And finally, my retarded snakes show up on the table. Oh, those guys are so destined for the shelf of shame. During the magic phase, I throw a banishment at the sisters unit because why not? And I'm able to finish off the last couple of sisters in the unit. So that was nice. I get the points for the ladies, and I'm happy about that. And then I do Shem's Burning Gaze against the Dark Shards, just mostly out of spite. I think I kill 3. It's not even enough for a panic check, so it was more, let's get the body count up. Nothing else happens at the top of 6, so we go to the bottom of 6, and as you can see, His warlock swore my general because he's going to try to just erase him from the face of the planet, and I'm going to do everything I can to see that doesn't happen. And the rest of his stuff moves, and it's inconsequential. I couldn't care less. During the magic phase, he gets Doombolt off, and I threw every Dispel die I had at it, and it went off anyway. I just... When fate has turned against you, there's nothing you can do but bend over and try to exhale. I mean, there's really nothing else for it. And yeah, bottom of 6, Doombolt erases my general. Ugh. Makes me sick in a way I can't even begin to tell you. And there it is. There's nothing else even worth talking about. There's the end of the game, and it's just devastating. It was such a close game. I mean, it was really fun. There was a total stupid move on my part when I moved the Black Knights into the Sisters. I should have left them behind to circle around and deal with the Black Knight or deal with the Warlock that was coming up on my casket. I should have just left my general with the witches. He was perfectly fine. It was a nice traffic jam. I could have just shot spells at him, but no, I got greedy and stupid. And while I did enjoy the close combat, I really wish I hadn't done that now. But in the end, it wouldn't have mattered because he faced effed my general in the end, and that's just killing me. Oh man. 5 days ago I played this game as of this recording, and it's still eating at me. But, we'll get to the belly aching in a minute because right now, thank God, this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Hey guys, you know these tokens, you've seen them 100 times, and you know what? Every time you see them, if you haven't bought them yet, you're just wasting time. Get these tokens. All of the lores of whatever spell you're casting, all the wound counters. You see me use them in every single game, and you've never heard me since I've been using the counters going, I can't remember how many wounds I had, or what spell was on this guy, or whatever. And they're flawless. They're awesome. You're the envy of everyone you play against. Send Token Gal an email. Get these tokens. They're dirt cheap, but they're solid gold quality, guys. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong. A lot of people have already ordered them, and nobody's returned any. Nobody's even asked to return any. All they do is they order more. Get yours. Get them soon. You're wasting time, and these are totally worth it. Tell her Tremendous sent you. Hey guys, I got another great deal for you. Movement trays. We all use them. We all need them. If you're watching this report, you have some or you need some. And do I have the vendor for you? This guy makes solid metal movement trays. I mean, cuts them to your specifications using a galvanized metal. It's not that cheap, thin, weak aluminum. This stuff is sturdy. I'm using them. I used them all throughout this game. Take a look at the pictures. They're all in there. I love these trays. They're metal, so they auto-magnetize, provided you put magnets on your guys. And he does them dirt cheap, guys. I'm telling you. He's got an eBay page. There's an email on here. Get a hold of this guy. Get yourself some movement trays and get yourself organized. You're going to be thrilled. You can paint them. You can do everything. These things are awesome. My local game store guy is literally in contact with this guy so that he can become a vendor. That's how high quality these things are. So I'm telling you guys, give this guy an email. Check out his eBay page. Get yourself some movement trays and stop playing like a Neanderthal. Tell him Tremendous sent you. You won't regret it. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but we got a few new pictures. So not only does Unleashed Wargaming paint amazing models for commission and stuff like that, send him an email. He does excellent work, as you've seen from the pictures. Not only does he do all the different Magic lore cards for Warhammer Fantasy, I mean every lore. You want Storms of Magic? send him an email. You want lore of fire, send him an email. You want every lore that's ever been out in 8th edition, send him an email. These things are solid. They're laminated, they're on cardstock, they're Photoshop made, they're amazing. And they're good. They're well priced, guys. I'm telling you. And now he's also doing 40K cards, the psychic stuff or whatever. I don't play 40K, but if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with it if you don't get these cards and if you don't have your models painted by them. Just throwing it out there. Just you may if you feel guilty, that's because you know you're wrong. But send this guy an email, get your models looking good, get the cards that you need, get your real game going, and tell him Tremendous sent you. You're not going to regret it. That's right. You knew this was coming eventually. In conjunction with Unleashed Wargaming and Lonehammer, we have opened an online store with hats, shirts, and I think that's it for right now. Maybe dice and stuff like that later on, as well as other gear, maybe dice cups, whatever. We'll think of something. But we're doing a trial thing for the next month and a half or so. We're gonna have this online store. The website is here. It'll be in the description of the page and everything like that. But yeah, if you want a T-shirt, if you want a hat, if you want to wear paraphernalia, by all means, head over to this store, check it out, get yourself some Lord Tremendous gear. God knows I have. and yeah, this is your chance. If you like Lonehammer, if you like Unleashed Wargaming, if you like Lord Tremendous, you can get this stuff. And if you don't like us, you can get it and you can set it on fire and send it to us as a threat. It's awesome. But yeah, go to the website. It'll be here. It's on this channel obviously, or on the description, and get yourself some gear. We're gonna try it out for a month and see how it goes, and if it keeps up, then we'll keep adding to it, and if not, well, we'll pretend like we never did it. But yeah, guys, by all means, and if there's anything you want to see on the store or anything like that, throw it in the comments section, and if we like it, we'll make it happen. So, yeah, in the end, it was yet another defeat at the hands of Death Holy Death for Lord Tremendous. This one hurt bad, though, because it was taken from me at the bottom of 6 of all the times. In the end, I ended up getting 1,526 points out of him. He got 2,051 out of me for a difference of 525. Had he not killed my general at the end, I would have won by 200 points. Ah! Oh well, I guess. Just God damn it. In the end, I lost my Vampire Lord, my White King, my Archers, my Chariots, my Black Knights, my Casket, and my Morghasts. He ended up losing his Supreme Sorceress, his Psycho Elf, his Dark Riders, his Sisters, and a unit of Witches. Yeah, like I've said about 6 times already, he just took this victory from me at the end. Granted, I did what I could to give it to him, but, yeah, things like this are why we're rivals. That and he plays Elves, so, I guess, in all fairness, he did kill off his Supreme Sorceress in, like, a bottom of 1, so I did owe him a level 4 caster. It's just, I would have preferred giving it to him never, and he was not cool with that. So, he's a greedy fuck, and that's not okay. I really did underestimate the Sisters' combat ability. I got greedy. I like having my Black Knights in combat, and when I charged them into the Sisters, it was more trying to get a hold of the Witches. I really never should have put them into the Witches. My general was perfectly fine where he was. There was no reason whatsoever to put him into that combat, but I did. I instantly regret it. And you know what? I got what I deserved. Putting the Knights into the Sisters. Yeah, granted, it probably helped Banishment finish them off, but who knows? Who really knows, right? It's just, it eats at my soul. Other than that, the Doombolt on my Morghasts. Wasn't expecting him to do that much damage with a Doombolt, but he did, and that's just outstanding. The Cauldron helped a lot that he got to reroll all of his friggin' wounds, but ugh, I don't like that rule anyway. But there's a lot I don't like about the Dark Elves. The fact, the race as a whole. I actually cheered a lot reading the M Times fluff, watching all the elves die. Yeah, that was worth the end of the world. I don't even care. And his warlocks, Deathly Death's warlocks, one warlock survives and is able to hit and wound with all three of his attacks at my casket, killing them all off. And then it does the cool guy thing where he didn't even look at the explosion and was untouched by it, even though he was at ground zero. What? What? Only Death, Holy Death. Oh, the guy is touched by chaos. I don't even know. Really hate to lose games at the bottom of six like this, but in all fairness, I was winning due to a bunch of luck anyway, so it probably went the way it was destined to go. But it was a fun game. It was nice the way it was so close because usually our games are so one-sided. It's like I have trouble standing. It's just too much of a curve. But this was a nail biter all the way to the end. It was fun. I do know I made mistakes, but I always make mistakes. If you're surprised still, then you haven't been watching my reports. I don't play smart. I play fun. So, as always, this was an outstanding game against an outstanding rival, and I'm foaming at the mouth for our rematch because I'm excited that Death Holy Death is playing Dark Elves again. It was nice playing as Undead for a while. It was neat, but I really, really enjoyed the fact that he's playing Dark Elves again because it's just what I'm used to seeing him play, and I missed it. So I'm pleased. I don't care what you think. I'm very happy he's playing Dark Elves again. And I have a feeling that a handful of you are going to be quite pleased about it as well. And, the fact that he won the game, too. All you little Dark Elf fanboys make me sick. But, yeah, that's going to do it for this one, number 213. As always, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, I don't know what you're complaining about, he won. Feel free to put them in the comments section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But as always, guys, thanks.